Hello everyone, today our group will compare the English in Ireland and Macau. First, a brief introduction of the two varieties. According to Galloway and Rose, Irish English belongs to Channel 1, settler colonization, where English is introduced through the British settlement and then eventually it replaced native language like Gaelic as a main language, while in Macau, which belongs to Channel 3, trade and exploitation colonies. English is a second language. It is spread through trade and now coexisting with Cantonese and Portuguese. And today we will compare the two varieties in terms of their history, linguistic features, and current status.
The next part is about the history of English in Ireland and Macau. Ireland is located in the northwest Europe. English arrived with 12th century's Norman invasion and spread under British rule. It replaced Irish Gaelic, evolving into Hiberno English with unique Irish influences. Macau is located in southern China. English came in the 19th century through British trade during the Opium Wars. It remains a trade language used for business and tourism. Now let's look at the detailed comparison in Macau English and Irish English. Firstly, let's look at the origins. In Macau, English arrived in the 16th century during Portuguese colonization. Later, in the 19th century, British influence increased during the Opium Wars, making English a significant language for trade and diplomacy. In Ireland, English has a longer history. It started in the 12th century with Norman invasion. However, English really spread during the 16th to 17th centuries under British rule. The reason for spread of English differ. In Macau, English was primarily used as the trade language to facilitate business and diplomacy between the East and the West. In Ireland, English was enforced under British policies, becoming the language of administration, education, and legal system. Today, the status of English also reflects their unique histories. In Macau, English is the third language after Cantonese and Portuguese. It's mostly used for business, tourism, and international communications. In Ireland, English replaced the Irish Gaelic as the dominant language, particularly in cities, though efforts to revive Gaelic continue. Now, key events shaped these differences. For Macau, important events include Portuguese colonization and the expansion of British trade in the 19th century. In Ireland, events like plantation policies during British rule and the Great Famine of the mid-19th century. This caused significant population loss and accelerated the decline of Irish language. And finally, the outcomes are distinct. In Macau, English remains functional but is not widely spoken in daily life. In Ireland, English developed into Hiberno English, which incorporates unique Irish grammar and vocabulary features.
And now let's compare the linguistic features of the two varieties. Let's start with pronunciation. Irish English is known as slurred and fast. It has distinct vowel sounds compared to other English accents. The rhotic vowels means the R sound is pronounced in words like start, dark, garden, some kind of similar, but the R is more front compared to American English. And the vowel shifts are common too. For example, the vowel in bus moves more like to so it becomes boss, cook, don't, touch. Likely, I in like moves to oil, so it becomes like, price. And these four features are similar to British accent. Also, there is monophthongization, which means the diphthongs in face and goat simplify to single vowels. So face becomes fast, tape, tap, and goat, home becomes got, home. Consonant features include the sound for th becomes t, so think, pink, becomes d, there becomes there. And the distinct T means the word later, throughout, sounds like later, throughout. And the intonation of Irish English is light, melodic, and high-raising, even in statement. While in Macau, the English pronunciation is simplified due to the Cantonese influence. There is less distinction between long and short vowels, so sheep and sheep may sound the same. Also, the vowel at moves closer to o, which is similar to Irish English, like here. In Macau English, the consonant substitute is frequent. For example, j moves to sh, so measure becomes measure, and vary becomes fairy or wary. This is because some people couldn't pronounce correctly. Also, the th sound changes, but a little bit different from what it is in Irish English. In most cases, becomes s, so think becomes think, which is similar to English in mainland China. Also, the final consonants in words sometimes are weakened or dropped. So last become last, good become good. The intonation of Macau English is high raising, typically in questions. Now let's move on to the grammar and the vocabulary. In Irish English, sometimes they use after for perfect aspect. For example, I'm after eating means I have eaten. And the double negatives, I didn't see nothing means I didn't see anything. However, in Macau, the English grammar is simplified due to it is a second language and the Cantonese influence. For example, he go to market. The grammatically correct sentence should be he goes to the market. And also for questions, you go where or follows the sentence order of Chinese or Cantonese. What's more, the voice is often used in wrong way in Macau English because there is no clear distinction between the active and passive voice in Cantonese. And for vocabulary, both Irish English and Macau English have borrowed words from other languages such as Gaelic and British English in Irish English, and Portuguese and Cantonese words in Macau English. Jo's house means temple and Ama means maid in Macau English.
So now it's my turn to introduce present status among the speakers about the primary usage. In Ireland, English is the main language. Almost the entire population use it as their native tongue, making it a dominant feature of daily life. In Macau, however, English exists as a second or foreign language. It is primarily used in commerce, tourism, and education, reflecting its functional rather than native role. So next, let's examine the cultural significance of English in these regions. In Ireland, English is closely tied to Irish culture and literature, celebrated in the works of great writers like James Joyce and Oscar Wilde. It serves as a key medium for expressing Irish identity. In Macau, English does not have deep cultural roots. Instead, it functions as a practical tool for international communication, helping Macau connect with the world. So, about the dominance of English also varies significantly. In Ireland, English's dominance is unquestionable. However, efforts to revive the Irish Gaelic language are ongoing, aiming to preserve cultural heritage. In Macau, English coexists with Portuguese and Cantonese. Its importance is growing, particularly among the younger generations, but it has not surpassed the primary local languages. So now let's discuss the role English plays in society. In Ireland, English primarily serves as an expression of Irish identity and cultural heritage. It is a core part of the nation's communication and education. In Macau, English is a functional tool for facilitating global and regional exchanges. It supports Macau's international business, tourism, and education initiatives. So, about the influence of other languages, both regions show how local languages influence English. In Ireland, English is influenced by Irish Gaelic, resulting in unique vocabulary, syntax, and pronunciation. In Macau, English reflects influences from Cantonese, Portuguese, and Chinese, leading to a distinctive and simplified variant. And about finally, let's address the challenges and global significance of English in these regions. In Ireland, globalization poses the risk of homogenizing Irish English, potentially eroding its unique features. However, Irish English contributes a rich literary and cultural identity to global English. In Macau, the challenge is to maintain English status as a global language amidst the growing multilingualism. English plays plays a vital role in positioning Macau as a multilingual hub in the Pearl River Delta. So in conclusion, the comparison between Ireland and Macau highlights how English evolves differently depending on historical and societal factors. In Ireland, it embodies cultural identity. In Macau, it serves as a bridge for global interaction. Both roles underline the incredible versatility and adaptability of English worldwide. Thank you.
Okay, so in conclusion, the different historical origins lead to the different linguistic features of English in Ireland and Macau, and finally the different status. So this reflects how English has formed diverse localized environments around the world through different historical paths. And these are our reference. Thank you for your listening.